on the ground.
X-ray 1 to where? 51, I'm 51.
What the hell? Put your hands behind your back. Everyone out.
Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today we have a powerful and thought-provoking video for you. We'll be delving into the lives of 4 notorious school shooters and examining their reactions as they are sentenced to life in prison for their horrific actions. So, buckle up and join us on this emotional journey as we explore the consequences faced by these individuals and the lessons we can learn to prevent future tragedies. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with more engaging content like this. Also, let us know in the comment which case do you think is most horrific. Let's get started. Number 4. Devin Erickson. Devin Erickson, a former student at STEM School Highlands Ranch in suburban Denver, was at the center of a horrific school shooting in 2019 that claimed the life of one teenager and left 8 others injured. Erickson, who was 18 at the time of the attack and is now 20, was found guilty on 46 charges. One of the most prominent charges was first-degree murder for the death of Kendrick Castillo, an 18-year-old senior who bravely tried to stop the attack and was hailed as a hero for his actions.
The jury in Douglas County has found Devin Erickson guilty on all charges in connection to the 2019 STEM school shooting in Highlands Ranch.
Erickson conspired with fellow student Alec McKinney to plan and execute the attack on their school. According to prosecutors, the two meticulously planned the shooting, intending to maximize the damage they can inflict on their fellow classmates. McKinney told investigators that he had been planning the attack for weeks, targeting students who repeatedly mocked him for being transgender. On that fateful day, Erickson and McKinney targeted a classroom of students who were sitting in the dark, watching a movie at the end of their senior year. The two attackers entered the room through separate doors to maximize the number of students they could harm. Their violent actions left a lasting impact on the entire community, as families grieved for the loss of Kendrick Castillo and prayed for the recovery of the injured students. During Erickson's sentencing, he displayed virtually no emotion, showcasing a cold and remorseless demeanor. When given the opportunity to speak, he declined, showing no desire to provide any explanation for his actions or offer any semblance of closure to the devastated community. Judge Teresa Michelle Slade sentenced Erickson to life in prison without the possibility of parole. In addition to the life sentence, the judge added hundreds of years of prison time for multiple charges and counts, ensuring that Erickson would never have the opportunity to walk free again. Alec McKinney, Erickson's partner in the crime, was also sentenced to life in prison. However, since he was 16 at the time of the shooting, he could become eligible for parole after approximately 20 years under a program for juvenile offenders. Number 3. T.J. Lane. T.J. Lane, an Ohio teenager, shocked the nation with his callousness and lack of remorse when he was sentenced to life in prison without parole for the 2012 shooting rampage at Chardon High School.
18-year-old T.J. Lane just pleaded guilty to 3 counts of aggravated murder, 2 counts of attempted aggravated murder, and 1 count of felonious assault. All those come with gun specifications as well. He could get up to...
Lane, who was just 17 years old at the time, brought a .22 caliber pistol and a knife to school, ultimately taking the lives of 3 students and injuring 3 others. He fired 10 shots inside the school's cafeteria, forever changing the lives of the victims, their families, and the entire community. During the sentencing hearing, Lane displayed a chilling and disturbing demeanor. He unbuttoned his shirt to reveal a white t-shirt with the word "killer" written across it in capital letters, similar to the one he wore on the day of the shooting. This act was a blatant show of disrespect and lack of remorse towards the victims' families and the court. When given the opportunity to address the court, Lane dismissed the lawyer's advice and made a brief, repulsive statement. He further taunted the grieving families by showing them the middle finger, causing gasps and tears in the courtroom. The shocking gesture and statement were not anticipated, and the prosecutor later expressed hope that no one would ever have to experience such a situation again. Judge David Fury, recognizing the gravity of Lane's crimes and his apparent lack of remorse, handed down 3 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. Throughout the sentencing, Lane showed no signs of guilt or remorse. Instead, he continued to smile and nod, seemingly satisfied with the devastation he had caused. Number 2. Sky Bush. Sky Bush, the young man responsible for firing a gunshot through a door and injuring a Forest High School student, pleaded no contest to his charges and received a 30-year prison sentence.
The judge was sentenced that you be placed on a 5-year term of probation and terms and conditions. An order of probation to apply, including 1 year in the county jail with credit for 340 days.
Bush, who was 19 years old at the time of the incident, admitted to feeling an adrenaline rush before the shooting but was unable to continue with his plan. The shooting occurred when Bush injured a 17-year-old male student at Forest High School. The victim, luckily, did not suffer life-threatening injuries but had to deal with the trauma of the event. Bush later expressed remorse for his actions, stating that he could have continued with his plan as there were no officers present at the time. However, he chose not to and put down the gun. The circuit judge presiding over Bush's case handed down a 30-year prison term. As part of his sentence, Bush must serve a minimum of 25 years behind bars. In addition to his prison term, he must also pay restitution of more than $14,000 to cover damages and the victim's expenses resulting from the incident. Bush faces several restrictions and requirements as part of his sentencing. He is prohibited from having any contact with the victim, visiting any public schools, and owning any weapons. He must also undergo a mental health evaluation to assess his psychological state and potential for rehabilitation. Number 1. Caleb Sharp. Caleb Sharp, the Freeman school shooter, was sentenced to spend 40 years in prison for his violent actions. The sentencing requires Sharp to go before a sentencing review board prior to his potential release. With credit for time served, he will have to wait 35 years before he can request release.
Proceedings for the boy who opened fire at Freeman High School in 2017 came to an abrupt end today when Caleb Sharp pleaded guilty to murder and several other charges. In November,
during the sentencing, Sharp publicly apologized for the first time. He expressed his remorse, stating, "I am sorry." His apology extended to the victim's family, the girls he attacked, and the entire community that was affected by his actions. This marked a turning point in the case, as it was the first instance of Sharp showing genuine remorse for his crimes. Sharp's public defender requested a 20-year fixed sentence, arguing that the defendant had shown remorse and had the potential for rehabilitation. However, the judge did not agree with this proposal in this case, citing the severity of the crimes and the impact on the community. Ultimately, the judge handed down a 40-year prison sentence to Caleb Sharp. This lengthy sentence reflects the gravity of Sharp's actions, the lives he impacted, and the need to ensure the safety of the community. The Sentencing Review Board will evaluate Sharp's progress and rehabilitation before considering his potential release. Caleb Sharp's sentencing serves as a reminder of the consequences of school shootings and the lasting effects they have on victims, families, and communities. It is crucial to address the underlying issues that contribute to such acts of violence, working towards prevention and intervention strategies that can help stop these tragedies from occurring. By holding perpetrators accountable and providing support for affected communities, we can work towards a safer and more compassionate society. In conclusion, today's video has given us a glimpse into the lives of these school shooters and their responses when confronted with the consequences of their actions. It serves as a poignant reminder of the devastation they have caused to innocent lives and the families left to pick up the pieces. We hope that by shedding light on these stories, we can inspire more conversations and actions to prevent similar tragedies in the future. As a society, let's work together to foster a safer and more understanding environment for everyone. Thank you for joining us today, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content.